Hello and welcome. We begin with Morocco. Morocco's claim over the Western Sahara has gained another significant boost. The United Kingdom has now joined the growing list of countries backing Rabat's autonomy plan for the disputed region. The United Kingdom has thrown its weight behind Morocco's autonomy proposal for the Sahara. This marks a shift in London's long-held neutrality on one of Africa's most enduring territorial disputes. The UK Foreign Minister David Lammy visited Rabat over the weekend, where he described Morocco's autonomy plan as the most credible solution to the decades-long stalemate. During the visit, both countries signed new cooperation agreements covering healthcare, innovation, ports, water infrastructure, and procurement. Algeria has expressed regret over Britain's move, calling it a reversal of decades of support for self-determination in Western Sahara. However, that referendum has never materialized. For years, most of the world recognized Western Sahara as a non-self-governing territory under the UN oversight. But in recent years, there has been a noticeable diplomatic shift with growing international support for Morocco's autonomy plan. The United States recognized Moroccan sovereignty over Western Sahara in 2020 under the Donald Trump first term. France followed suit last year. The UK, the US and France are the three permanent UNSC members, and Spain backed the plan in 2021. Several Arab countries, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the UAE and Jordan, have also thrown their support behind Morocco's proposal. Now, under Morocco's autonomy plan, Western Sahara would remain under Rabat sovereignty, but enjoy limited self-governance. Meanwhile, the Polisario's call for independence and Algeria's backing now finds itself increasingly isolated diplomatically. The dispute has also further strained relations between Algeria and its former colonial ruler France. Algiers has accused Paris of favoritism toward Morocco, reviving old tensions and deepening a widening rift. As the balance increasingly tips in Morocco's favor and Algeria finds itself diplomatically isolated, what impact will it have on the regional balance, and what path lies ahead for resolving this decades-old dispute? And for more on this, we are being joined by Musa Mdunge, who is an international affairs expert. Thank you for being with us, Musa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, what does the UK's endorsement of Morocco's autonomy plan mean for the future of the Western Sahara dispute? And how might it influence other countries' positions, especially within the EU and the African Union?
Certainly, the United Kingdom's shift in position in support of Morocco's autonomy peace plan is certainly going to shift the influence in terms of the Western world. You will know that, of course, United Kingdom is a permanent member of the United Nations. And so, following on from both the United States and France endorsing this plan, it is likely that Morocco will see growing support for its sort of position in terms of gaining support over its control over Western Sahara, and definitely will see a seismic shift, I believe, even in the European Union. As you have noted, both Spain and Germany are both in support of this peace plan. Of course, the EU is divided at this point, but certainly given the fact that European countries, both within the EU and as well as the United Kingdom post-Brexit, are seemingly in support of this move, it is likely now that, the cry for self-determination, or the support rather from an international perspective, is likely to be decreased from this point, given how important and how influential the United Kingdom is.
Absolutely. And Musa, how does Algeria's continued backing of the Polisario Front shape the regional dynamics, and what are the prospects for renewed negotiations or escalation between Morocco and Algeria?
certainly Algeria's position has been quite a hardened one at this point, and there is a growing international sentiment for Algeria to shift its position. But what is also likely to happen, given how important the United Kingdom is as a trading partner, given how important Spain is as a trading partner, and all of these other European countries to Algeria, it is likely that they will also use their economic muscle to try and shift its position on this matter. And you see it how the United Kingdom, in making a shift in its position, has proposed new investments both for Morocco and Western Sahara as a way of ensuring that economic incentives are part of the political and the security incentives that will drive both parties towards the negotiation table. So in many ways, Polisario, along with Algeria, are likely going to face pressure given these economic incentives to then pivot in their position.
Yes, absolutely. And on that, given these key Western powers like the US, France, Spain, and now the UK's support for Morocco's proposal, what are the implications for the Polisario Front and its push for full independence?
Well, look, at this point, there are growing rumors that there are divisions even within the Polisario movement currently already at this point. And so, again, you see this growing wave not only in the Polisario movement currently already at this point. And so, again, you see this growing wave not only in terms of Western countries that are shifting towards the Moroccan position, but also in Africa, if I might add. Recently, as you know, Kenya, for example, also shifted its position in support of Morocco's autonomy plan. And so in many ways, as friends become less for the Polisario, it will push it possibly towards the negotiation table, where perhaps this particular deal, one that will ensure that the people of the Western Sahara, who have, by the way, been living in very harsh conditions in refugee camps for the most, can then finally have economic aspirations met. And so in many ways, they have now a pressure to shift in their position as African countries shift theirs, as well as both Europe and now the United States having joined the growing voices in support of the Moroccan autonomy plan. In many ways, it becomes difficult for the United Nations, for the European Union, and even countries like South Africa, if I might add, to hold the position that self-determination with a referendum in place is the viable option for peace. At this point, it looks like this one, the Moroccan plan, is the one that's going to have growing support. And in many ways, Algeria and the Polisario will likely have to shift in the long term. Maybe not now, but certainly in the long term. That seems to be the trend.
Absolutely. Musa, as always, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for your valued insights.
Thank you so much for having me.
Today, on the occasion of the visit to Rabat of the British Foreign Secretary, the United Kingdom has officially recognized the Moroccan autonomy plan as the most credible, viable, and pragmatic basis for a lasting settlement of the regional dispute over the Moroccan Sahara. The clarity of the wording expressed in the joint communique issued today by Morocco and the UK is part of a wider logic of regional stability. It reflects the UK's belief in the autonomy plan as being fully consistent with international law and UN resolutions. The British position is further underscored by its commitment to invest in socio-economic projects in the Moroccan Sahara. This new position of the United Kingdom, a permanent member of the UN Security Council, reinforces the growing international dynamic driven by His Majesty King Mohammed VI in favor of the autonomy plan under Moroccan sovereignty. It leaves no doubt as to the credibility of this initiative and the strong international consensus supporting it. Indeed, from the milestone US recognition of Morocco's sovereignty over its Sahara provinces in 2020 to the clear positions of support from Spain and France, there is today a growing coalition of allies across all the continents supporting an autonomy plan under Moroccan sovereignty as the only solution possible to this regional dispute.
Le président mauritanien, Mohamed Cheikh Ould El Ghazouani, a opposé une fin de non-recevoir à la demande du Polisario visant à revenir sur la fermeture de la région de l'Ebriga, située à la frontière algérienne, une décision prise par l'armée mauritanienne le 21 mai dernier. Selon une source proche du dossier, ce refus a été signifié au chef de la délégation du Front, dépêché vendredi à Nouakchott, dans le cadre d'une médiation initiée par le président algérien Abdelmadjid Tebboune. La délégation du Polisario poursuit actuellement sa visite en Mauritanie. Ce dimanche, elle a rencontré Sid Ahmed Ould Mohamed, secrétaire général du parti INSAF, formation politique proche du président mauritanien. Parallèlement, plusieurs Sahraouis installés dans les camps de Tindouf ont exprimé, à travers des messages audio diffusés le 1er juin, leurs doutes quant à la capacité de l'armée mauritanienne à sécuriser ses frontières. Ils ont estimé que cette mission ne pourrait être accomplie sans le soutien de la République sahraoui autoproclamée et de l'Algérie. Certains messages allaient jusqu'à proférer des menaces à l'encontre d'intérêts économiques en Mauritanie. En maintenant fermée la région sensible de l'Ebriga, Nouakchott envoie un signal fort à Alger et au Polisario. La souveraineté mauritanienne prime sur les jeux d'influence régionaux. Ce choix défie clairement l'agenda algérien et s'inscrit de facto dans une logique de stabilité régionale au Sahara et au Sahel. Plus encore, cette décision pourrait marquer un tournant dans les équilibres géopolitiques au Sahel. En restreignant l'accès du Polisario à la frontière mauritanienne, Nouakchott limite concrètement l'influence du front séparatiste et de son principal soutien, l'Algérie. Un positionnement qui semble rapprocher davantage la Mauritanie de la vision marocaine, d'une région stable, tournée vers la coopération et le développement, plutôt que vers l'hostilité et la division.
ND Notícias de volta. A procura por fertilizantes para a produção agrícola aqui de Santa Catarina acende alerta para a importância da parceria com outros países para a importação desses produtos. Hoje, o Estado deu passo fundamental nesse sentido. Santa Catarina tem agora uma sede do Consulado do Reino de Marrocos. A reportagem é do Márcio Falcão. Vamos ver?
Quase 90% dos fertilizantes utilizados nas lavouras brasileiras são importados. 5 países lideram as vendas. Santa Catarina dá passo importante para aumentar essa lista. O estado agora tem uma sede do Consulado do Marrocos em Florianópolis.
O Marrocos é o maior produtor de fosfato, que é o principal ingrediente hoje de fertilizantes, e onde Santa Catarina tem uma necessidade muito grande pela agroindústria, pela agricultura, por tudo que envolve essa questão há bastante tempo.
O evento de inauguração do Consulado do Marrocos, em Florianópolis, reuniu representantes de entidades ligadas ao turismo, comércio e políticos.
Santa Catarina é um belo ativo, como a gente fala, para esses investidores, e Florianópolis, por sua beleza, por sua qualidade de vida, por sua possibilidade de investimentos. Nós temos agora, por exemplo, a Marina, que vai mudar a cara da cidade. Nós temos uma cidade que 60% da área da cidade é de preservação permanente, com possibilidades infinitas na área do turismo, da infraestrutura.
Rico em história, cultura e com uma grande diversidade geográfica, o Reino do Marrocos é um país que fica no norte da África e todos os anos atrai milhares de turistas.
O fato de o governo do Reino do Marrocos decidir inaugurar um consulado honorário em Santa Catarina reflete, primeiro, a riqueza dessa parceria bilateral a nível nacional, e também procede quer participar, digamos assim, do dinamismo internacional que o estado de Santa Catarina vem vivendo, com a internacionalização da economia.
De olho no interesse do Reino de Marrocos nos produtos brasileiros, potencial que passa pelos portos de Santa Catarina, o que pode facilitar as parcerias comerciais com o Marrocos.
A área portuária de Santa Catarina é uma área muito privilegiada, são 4 portos muito grandes, né? E o Marrocos também tem 2 portos muito grandes em Casablanca, no Atlântico, e Tanger, no Mediterrâneo.
Será maravilhoso essa parceria com o Marrocos, porque Santa Catarina está voando em seu crescimento econômico. Então nós temos muitas oportunidades para oferecer aqui em Santa Catarina para parceiros dessa potência.